Hey, there you are.
Yeah, Matt, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing.
Did you guys get any snow? We got hammered pretty good with snow and
No,
ice.
it wasn't. No, it was nice and sunny today. Pretty nice day. It's getting cold now. It's in
Is
the
it?
mid 30s right now.
Yeah, it was like 31 this morning,
Mm.
and it's still raining and it's either freezing rain or snow outside right now.
I have no idea what we're going to get, if anything, from this. Maybe some rain, maybe not, maybe some snow. I don't know. It's not here yet.
Well, I figure since so much is going on, we might as well just jump right into it. Charlotte, North Carolina.
Nice.
Apparently, a watchdog group went around and asked for public information with a public information request
A FOIA.
uh,
Yeah.
to find out how often, if ever, the radar detectors that the police department's using, how often they're inspected by a certified inspector.
Mhm.
And it
California.
turns out that Charlotte is the worst offender. 15 years it has not been inspected by an FCC licensed inspector.
Hmm.
They're supposed to have one on staff all the time.
No, I
mean,
wonder
they're-
how that'll interfere with potential cases and stuff. That
Well,
was their only probable cause for stopping someone was the speeding part. And if that
Right.
spilled into other charges, well, they didn't have a proper probable cause to pull them over in the first place with an uncalibrated machine. That's that.
yeah.
So I wonder how, if or anything's going to happen because of that. I'm curious. Probably nothing, especially, well, I don't know. Probably nothing will happen.
Well, I know that they've been told they're not to use them
Mhm.
until they're properly calibrated by someone licensed through the FCC.
Well, I wonder if somebody was pocketing that money or otherwise spending it somewhere else.
Yeah, well, they can't be calibrated. If they're not rightfully calibrated, they're useless.
No, useless for what they need to use them for.
And they're not. Well, actually, they're useless because if you haven't calibrated it in 15 years, then they're all out of whack.
It's usually good for 6 months. And then you need to have it calibrated again. If you ever drop the device, you need to have it out for calibration and tag it out. That's how those types of things work. Especially with that one, that's a sensitive instrument. If you drop it, you better send that freaking thing out. And I
Yeah,
bet you a lot
yeah.
of times that doesn't happen.
They're not the only police department that didn't have it legally inspected. They're just the worst case.
Oh, I bet you tons of them are, at the very least, are out of their calibration date at minimum. Tons of them. Thousands of them, I would not be surprised.
But apparently, there's quite a few police departments that don't have a registered, licensed FCC inspector on their police force, or in their employ, for whatever reason, whether the last one retired or left or whatever. They just nobody, and it takes like little to no time to apply for the license.
It probably takes little to no time to check the calibration. It's probably with a tuning fork.
Well, they have to be.
That's how they used to do them on the fly. That the officers would pull out a properly gauged tuning fork and put that in front of the radar detector or whatever they were using to shoot, and that vibration would give a reading, and that's how they would check.
Well, I know that in order for it to be legally calibrated, it has to be calibrated by what the FCC calls a radio and television licensed inspector.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And
Well,
those
still, officers
licenses are
are
easy to
equipment.
get.
Mhm.
Those licenses are easy to get. I don't understand, how they could overlook it for 15 years.
And if it comes with more money, I can't believe there's not cops knocking on the door or banging down the door to want to get that extra money in their check. I got a few licenses when I could.
I'm not sure if it counts for the in-car radar detectors or just the handheld ones. But
I bet you it's either or. If they're very similar, if not the same type of thing.
right.
Because I've seen the handheld look just like the mount. That same
So
type
so
of mount.
Charlotte was told they're not to use them until they're inspected. So
Good.
I
Minimum.
assume that, and this is not common knowledge. So I'm assuming that right now everybody's speeding their balls off.
No, you can do a 1 mile clock. If you're following somebody for 1 mile in your car and they're doing excessive speed, you can get them for excessive speed. You might not be able to get them for like exact, but if they're doing 20 over, you can get them for excessive speed.
Right.
That's still something.
You're yeah, but you notice, and this is only one state. This is only one state they check. Can you imagine what the rest of the states look like?
Oh yeah, like I'm telling you, yeah. I asked a police officer that at the airport when I was going to work one day. I asked if I could see his radar, and he's like, "Oh, I'm not giving you a ticket. I've already turned my radar off." All right, well then, that kind of bothered me, but I have a feeling now. I bet you it was because of what you're saying, because I wanted to see it. I'm an aircraft mechanic. I'm at my facility. I know what I'm talking about when it comes to that. At least he could assume anyway. Interesting. Makes sense.
Yeah. Well, I hate to bring this back to politics, but it is a red state, and they are the law and order party. How could they have missed this?
And it's how they choose to enforce. Like, there's regulations and laws that have been passed that other police departments around the country have said, no, we're not going to enforce that. We're not going to do that.
Well, yeah, that's basically like
They can't pick and choose. That's not their call.
It's basically like the attorney general who says he's going to exercise his privilege to decide what's prosecutable and not.
Yeah. Well, to some degree, yeah, that's what they're supposed to do. But when they do it in a biased way, that's not good.
Right.
Now, fair and impartial, then yeah, that's fine. That's how it's supposed to be.
Well, speaking of southern states, there is another state right down there in Tennessee
Let's see.
trying to pass a bill. The Republicans, and mind you.
Well, at least it's and high. That's cool. You can.
No, it's and or.
No, I know. That's what I mean. You can be and. That's awesome, man. You can be both.
Yeah. So their big thing is they want the police to be able to snort cocaine and still keep the gun on them. Snort cocaine.
Well, that's not legal anymore. That's not legal though, is it? You sure? Coke?
I don't think it's legal anywhere.
Well, that's if they're going undercover.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's if they're undercover.
I think it's more for. I think what they tried to do is make it more for weed and mushrooms, but they had to include everything.
Have a salad.
You know,
Can't have a
plus
salad
the fact
without
that
mushrooms in it.
plus the fact that you could be drunk and still carry your gun around. I don't understand the logic in that.
No, I don't either. They definitely don't go together. No.
You know, I thought that most of the reason that we take guns away from people is because they're running around with guns while they're drunk.
Right.
You know, and now you're going to say that you give a whole police force the right to be drunk and carry their guns around.
Well, I don't know. I'm half not surprised, though, really, I guess.
I'm a little surprised that Tennessee usually isn't that redneck of a place. I've been there a couple times.
Yeah, I suppose.
You know, and so I'm a little...
Maybe they're getting some McConnell or something rubbed off on them or whatever.
Yeah, I'm a little
Tennessee
surprised.
isn't. Oh, he's
this
off
extreme.
Kentucky, isn't he?
What's that?
I'm trying to think of this other guy now. This other dude who's in Kentucky. He's also a senator. Who's the other senator from Kentucky? The one we don't like at all. Paul Rand. Whatever. Yeah, he's the other guy I was trying to think of. I don't know. Maybe some of their stuff just ran upstream.
What I don't understand is why are they now coming out with these outrageous things? I mean, outrageous. You want to give guns to cops who are high and drunk?
No, it's completely outrageous. You're right.
Marjorie Taylor Greene wants to divorce the United States. You got white judicial systems in Mississippi going in. What the hell is happening?
In the Supreme Court in Wisconsin, yeah.
Yeah. What in the hell is happening?
They're grasping at straws, and they do not want to let go of power. They're doing every single thing they can to maintain their hold on what they've got. And the only thing I can hope is that they've reached too far, too soon, too quick. They needed this in small doses, and they're feeding it too fast.
I mean, to me, it's almost like
crazies are saying this is just too crazy.
Yeah, yeah. To me, it's
McCarthy gave Carlson all of the video.
Well, I was going to talk about that too.
You know, I mean, are you kidding?
Or was it 4,000 hours?
No, like 10.
No.
10,000 hours.
No. It was 4,000. Yeah.
Well, I'll send you one of those things. If I did send it to you, I'll send it to you in a minute. Anyway, that's open for debate. But all right, 4,000. That's a lot of fucking time.
Yeah, but he sent it only
where the video of what it exposes.
But he sent it only to Fox.
Security breach, huh?
He sent it only to Fox, not to anybody else.
Well, to Tucker.
Yeah, but, yes,
yes,
to Fox.
Of the ones to send it to, and he thinks that, oh no, it only shows, roses and rainbows and shit. Well, maybe not rainbows because they don't swing.
It was never sent to CNN. It was never sent to MSNBC. Right. It was never sent to CBS. They're
thinking that they want to send it out to make sure they got all the information they need to make the next one more successful.
Well, of course. Of course, they want it to be a one-sided thing.
For that,
they want it to be a one-sided show. And they know Tucker Carlson will cut out everything that makes them look bad and leave in everything that makes them look good and say, see, this is peaceful.
But also, if you want to plan an insurrection and have it be more successful and know where all your shit is, watch the videos. And that's a problem.
That's a
huge security problem. We got lucky because these people had no idea where to go. It's a labyrinth in there. The congressmen always complain or laugh about their first day because they can never even find their office. It takes them a couple of days.
Right.
Santos had issues. You could see the reporters following him all over the place, and he couldn't find his friggin' office.
Right.
So, yeah. Now, this is a roadmap. Detailed roadmap of the inner workings of the Capitol.
Right.
That's not good.
So how do you fix that, though? He's already sent it out.
If it's a security breach, then I would be, why not arrest them both? Do an investigation. I think that the speaker didn't have the authority to give that kind of evidence to a civilian, let alone a news outlet. Forget that it's Fox News. It's just those alone.
Well, I find it funny. I find it funny that he chose to give it to Fox News. And this is my last point and my last article for the show. Trump got really, really pissed at Fox News recently because they covered a campaign stop that DeSantis did in Long Island, where Trump claimed they only had 136 people and they should have been covering him all the time.
Yeah.
And he's calling Fox rhinos, and that their ratings are crap now.
And Tucker was
all
slamming him too, McCarthy, calling him a rhino, like you were just saying. Yeah.
And it's like, well, why is McCarthy going, who was sucking up to Trump all the whole time before he became speaker? Now he's giving the tapes to the network that Trump is turning against now.
Right.
You know,
I hear you. I'm just
I hear
you.
Unless they all think that Trump's influence is gone.
It is diminishing, and that's a good sign. Even from his own, some of his followers, he's just saying off the rails things. He's doing, these midnight tweets again. He's got to lay off the sauce or whatever he's at night and just go to freaking bed. But he can't. He still does stupid stuff. He can't help himself.
Well, apparently, a Washington Circuit Court judge has just ruled that he has to sit for another 2-hour deposition.
Yeah, heard that today.
On the wrongful termination of Struck, was it? What's his name?
The FBI agent. Yes, Strog or Scrog or it's something like that. My apologies for butchering his name, but it's been a long time since I've heard it.
Well, apparently
in
2019 he filed a wrongful termination suit, and because it's the president, he had to exhaust all avenues first
before they could get that deposition. Yeah,
right. So now that the judge had said it's time for him to get the deposition.
And I don't think this is one of those you can take the fifth type of things either.
Yeah.
Once you're put to a question, you got to answer it. Period. So this ought to be interesting.
So so there's a lot of weird and almost like Armageddon type shit going on right now.
Yeah, we've got Russia doing nuclear missile tests, and they want to hit. The last I heard for their state TV is Yellowstone's looking like a target for them. They want to nuke it. Yeah.
The national park?
The super volcano. And you are aware that Yellowstone's sitting on top of a caldera, right?
I'm sorry, what?
Okay, yeah. That's one of the largest volcanoes on the planet is Yellowstone.
Okay.
So, yeah, it would wipe out the entire planet if it ever really went off. So if they think that nuking that is going to destroy the U.S., it's going to destroy them too. So that's a really stupid thing to do. But anyway, it was discussed. It's been discussed on their state TV. Isn't that nice?
Well, it's gotten to the point where there's a game company in Russia that just put out what looks like an amazing game, but everyone is now boycotting the game because the gaming because the gaming company that did it has ties to the Russian political system.
Mm-hmm.
Russian government, and so nobody wants to support Russia's war efforts against Ukraine.
Sure.
So as far as America, people are boycotting it. Ukraine has asked several like Microsoft and Google stores to not carry it.
Well, they're almost 100% isolated right now. Very close. I believe they're energy isolated. Because none of the good countries are taking their products, their energy, their oil, their gas, none of that. So when they do sell it, it's at a huge loss. When they sell their oil their gas to whatever countries that are asking for it. So that's something. It's really good. It's not really good, but. All their stores, their malls, all that kind of stuff is pretty much closed. They have Mac, MAC, Donald's, or something else, DONNELLS or whatever. It's a knockoff to the McDonald's. Same with KFC. There's a KFC knockoff. So they're doing all kinds of knockoffs in Russia to try to fill the gaps that the real companies, left behind.
Right.
They're struggling, So yeah, they're definitely feeling their economy. The ruble's almost worthless, It really is.
Well, yeah, but what's he going to gain? I mean, he's already going against the the nuclear arms agreement that we had.
Yeah,
So
SARS, I think it was called. Yeah.
yeah, he says he's complying. He just doesn't want anyone to come look. Yeah,
Yeah.
that doesn't sound guilty as shit.
Right.
But it is what it is until it gets worse. So hopefully Matt will still be here tomorrow. And I will see you then.
Peace. There's some more peace. I got a cat.